Welcome, D.C. delegates, to Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. My name is Laura Fuchs, and I am currently serving as the president of the Washington Teachers Union, AFT Local Number 6, right here. I have spent 18 years teaching world history, U.S. government, and D.C. history. I have had the unusual challenge of teaching federalism to students who have never had a governor. My students and their families have never had full voting representation in Congress. Their grandparents couldn't even vote for president until the passage of the 23rd Amendment in 1961. We are so excited to host the AFT convention this year because D.C. needs your help. D.C. is a land where our public schools operate under one of the most extreme anti-democratic forms of mayoral control, where nearly half of our public students attend charters in a system with too little public accountability, a direct consequence of Congress controlling our affairs instead of the people who live here. And we are a district where Congress and the President continue to override the will of the people who actually call this city home. I know many of you are here from around the country. Is there anyone here from Florida? Ohio? Michigan? We need your help in particular. If your government has sent National Guard troops to Washington, ask them to bring them home. Scan the QR code and make your voice heard with Free DC. We are at a pivotal moment in our history. We know our democracy hangs by a thread. But it is a democracy that those born and raised in D.C. have not gotten to experience unless they leave. Our current local government was created by Congress in 1973 and can just as easily be taken back. In fact, over the course of D.C.'s history, we often gain and then lose home rule in 10 to 50-year cycles. Until D.C. has full statehood, we will not be free and equal to the rest of the country. We are a locality that has more people than 2 states and pays more total federal taxes than 12. This is not a new problem for D.C. Presidents from across the political spectrum have chosen to impose their will rather than support our people. So we are counting on you to help us after this next election, no matter who wins, to tell your representatives and senators to vote for D.C. statehood now and to free D.C. 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 All right, it is now my honor to introduce the Democratic nominee for mayor, Janeese Lewis George. I first got to know Janeese when she ran for D.C. Council in Ward 4, taking on an entrenched incumbent backed by the seemingly invulnerable political machine that was heavily funded by Democrats for Education Reform and had helped elect the majority of the D.C. Council in the office of mayor. It was clear that Janeese was going to center public education at the heart of her campaign, despite the risks. In 2019, during the first months of her campaign, D.C. Public Schools announced they were going to close an alternative school called Washington Met. The rationale provided was due to low test scores, which, given the school served students who were deemed overaged and undercredited, kind of seems like that would be what's going to happen. Despite the fact that they had not been successful in the schools, that they were perhaps, unsurprising. And we all knew what it really was. A land grab. The school community, especially the students themselves, began an unforgettable campaign to save their school. And one of the lead community members who stepped up, despite the school not even being located in the ward she was running in, was Janeese. Meeting with students, echoing and amplifying their calls, she was unrelenting in her support. While the school failed to win the supermajority support they needed, failing by 1 vote, Janeese won her election to replace that deciding vote. P.S. After this November, all but one of them will be gone. Janeese has never backed away from the tough conversations around privatization, funding our schools, protecting our students and families from ICE, and now chairing the committee that oversees our facilities. From securing dedicated funding to ensure that every D.C. public school has a dedicated librarian, to standing up for our international educators teaching here on an H-1B visa when DCPS removed a promised pathway to a green card without any notice. When Janeese announced she would be running for mayor, the WTU knew what to do. Get our endorsement process up and running as fast as humanly possible so we could be all in with Janeese from the jump. And we did it, getting our questionnaire, candidate forums, and vote from our rep assembly done a month after she announced. And it was unanimous. The WTU was in for Janeese. Taking on a candidate backed by the same machine she had defeated in Ward 4, Janeese took her organizing prowess to new heights. D.C. has never seen a candidate so willing to put labor at the heart of her campaign. A champion for workers, students, and educators, her campaign had the most volunteers, doors knocked, calls made, and local donations that she handily defeated the corporate machine. So once again, it is my distinct honor to introduce Janeese Lewis George, the Democratic nominee for mayor in the District of Columbia.
Oh, thank you so much, Laura. Can we give Laura Fuchs another round of applause? I want to just thank Laura for her friendship, for your leadership, and for the work you do every day on behalf of Washington's education community. I want to thank President Randy Weingarten and the entire American Federation of Teachers for welcoming me today. And good morning, AFT! It is an honor to be here with you. My name is Janeese Lewis George. I have the privilege of serving Ward 4 on the D.C. Council, and just a few weeks ago, the people of my hometown entrusted me to become the Democratic nominee for mayor of Washington, D.C. I am a third-generation Washingtonian, the proud daughter of a union postal worker, a former member of AFT Local 1403, and more importantly, a proud graduate of D.C. public schools. I stand before you because public education invested in me, organized labor invested in me, public servants invested in me, and long before anyone ever voted for me, people believed in me. And that is the work you do every single day. Every morning, you make a choice. You choose to show up. You show up knowing one child may not have eaten dinner the night before. You show up knowing another carrying anxiety that no test score will ever reveal. You show up knowing that one student is worried that when they get home, a parent might not be there because our immigration system has made fear a part of everyday life. You show up anyway, and somewhere along the way, we start treating that as ordinary. It isn't ordinary what you show up and what you bear and what you have to deal with every single day. It's not ordinary, and we cannot make it ordinary. In fact, it is an extraordinary act of faith and hope and service. In many ways, it is one of the purest acts of democracy we actually have left. Because every generation inherits a moment that asks something of us. Some moments ask us to be comfortable. Others ask us to be courageous. And we know this is not a moment of comfort. This is a moment of moral clarity and courage. This is the moment that asks us whether we still believe in each other, whether we still believe that every child deserves opportunity no matter what zip code they're in, whether we still believe government can improve people's lives, whether we still believe that democracy belongs to ordinary people. Across this country, fear has become a governing strategy. Books have become political. Curriculums have become political. And our lived historical record has become political. And too often, the very people who dedicate their lives to our children have become political targets. But here's what I know. You cannot build a stronger America by tearing down public education. You cannot strengthen democracy by weakening the people who prepare the next generation to inherit it. Before I decided to run for mayor, I sat down with labor. Because labor has always understood something government sometimes needs to be reminded of. That the people closest to the work are closest to the solutions. Educators know what students need. Paraprofessionals know which child is quietly struggling. School nurses see the effects of poverty before policymakers even read about it. School staff know which families need help long before the data catches up. You don't need another politician explaining your work. You need leaders who listen and center your voices. And in doing so, government should make life more affordable, not more difficult. Government exists to make it easier for people to live good lives, not harder lives. That means affordable housing because stable housing creates stable families. It means universal child care because parents who have support become stronger partners in their children's education. It means protecting immigrant families because our students cannot learn while living in fear. It means making sure educators can actually afford to live in the communities they serve. It means recognizing that when government does its job well, educators get to spend more time teaching and less time carrying burdens that belong to the rest of us. My grandmother, Mary Lewis, was a lunch lady at DC public schools. Now, some people hear that and think my grandmother just worked in a cafeteria. But I knew differently, though. My grandmother was the woman who knew every child's name. The woman who could tell a student hadn't eaten enough. The woman who always seemed to know which child needed an extra smile, an encouraging word, or simply one adult to just ask, "Baby, are you okay?" She understood something that no education policy can fully capture. Before children can learn, they have to know that somebody cares. She wasn't teaching math. She wasn't writing lesson plans or standing in front of the classroom. But every single day, she was creating the conditions that made learning possible. Because a hungry child struggles to concentrate. A frightened child struggles to trust. A child who doesn't feel like they belong struggles to dream. My grandmother taught me that every adult in a school building is an educator. Every one of them is telling a student in a large and a small way, you matter. That's why I never accept the idea that anyone in education is just anything. There are no supporting actors in public education. Every person who walks through that door each morning helps shape the future of our communities and our country. Because education is an opportunity. Long before a young person casts a ballot, they learn whether their voice matters, whether adults actually keep their promises, whether they belong, opportunity is taught on the first day of school. It's taught every time an educator refuses to give up on a student, every time a school nurse comforts a frightened child, every time a paraprofessional celebrates their breakthrough, every time a seasoned professional challenges students to think critically instead of fearfully, every time a school community says to a child, "You belong here." So as you prepare for this next school year, I encourage you to reflect on your journey in your profession. Celebrate the milestones, the people you've shaped, and the values you've upheld. Celebrate the students you've affirmed and the ideas you nurtured. Every day you are shaping the future, and one of them might just become the next mayor of their hometown. You show up, you listen, you care, and I thank you in this moment in history for choosing hope where cynicism would be easier. Thank you for choosing children when the work right now feels impossible. Thank you for choosing public service when too few people say thank you. Your lessons, your words, and your daily actions are shaping citizens, building communities, and protecting the opportunity that makes our nation what it is. And because you keep showing up, there's still a chance for more, for better, for greater opportunity. I ran on a promise to build a government that puts people first. Simple. Because when we put people first, we build trust, we build belonging, we build power. And when we build power, we build the future. Now together, we have to do our part to fight for the vision and win. Because when we stand together, we fight, we win. We are in this together. And as a proud partner with Labor, I am going to close with our rallying cry. And I need you to join me with enthusiasm because we still have lots of work to do. And I'm going to make you do two things, because in this moment here in D.C., we are not free. ICE has terrorized our streets. They have terrorized our educators. They have kidnapped our families. They have federal law enforcement troops with armed guns surrounding our schools and our communities. We are a city under siege. And we need everybody standing with us in this moment. And I need to feel your commitment in this moment. So when I say free, I need you to say D.C. free. D.C. Free. D.C. Free. D.C. And we can't free D.C. unless we organize and unless we win across this country. We are the capital city. And I want you to know, my local WTU, we are not afraid to fight. And we're not going to let the capital city fall. Because we are ready. And we are organized. And this moment is a reflection that when we fight, thank you, AFT. We have a lot of work ahead, and we will win. Thank you.